Hi everybody, my name is Joe Conti and today I'm going to go over a jersey swap for Tua, and don't even expect me to pronounce his last name. You know who he is on the Dolphins. Alright, so here's the original photo. Here's the finished swap to the Dolphins. There it is, isolated and clipped out. Alright, so first thing, as always, I took the background layer, the original photo, duplicated it, and got rid of all the marks on the jersey and the helmet here. Really, I left the stripe in the on the helmet because it's just going to be replaced, but most of the marks and decals are replaced here. Also, the ball has been edited here, so the stripe over here and the little Nike logo is gone. Next are the pants, and this was actually pretty simple fix here. Let me just turn all these layers off. So the stripe on the side of his pants here, luckily the Dolphins stripe pattern is very similar, so I just neutralized that burgundy to a gray and then replace it with the Dolphins orange. And then his sock color, the Dolphins have teal socks for their white pants. So I just neutralized the, it was actually a white sock, so I just made it a little darker gray. And then did an overlay of the teal for the Dolphins. Just a color overlay on hard light blend mode. And then for the middle the stripe in the middle of the two orange stripes is that Dolphins teal. So we just did a color overlay there, following the same pattern as the original photo. And then just put a NFL logo, as always, on the upper right leg here. And last but not least, you got to color correct the play sheet from the Alabama red to Dolphins teal. So those are the pants, pretty simple. And then just a real small tweak to the ball here. I was just looking a little odd that this seam over here wasn't following through because it was the white stripe. So I just made a selection of one of the seams, I think it was right about here, and just warped it a little bit so it would make sense. And there's just a little extra layer there just for consistency as far as the ball right there. Okay, so next we have the jersey. There you are. Turn all these off one by one. So I made the burgundy jersey color just a lighter neutral gray. I put a levels layer in there just to get back some of the shadows and a little more of the intensities that were kind of doled out by this gray layer here. And then I did Dolphins teal as a color overlay. Just color blend mode there. And from there, I was able to find a pretty good reference photo of a similar right shoulder at a similar angle, and I just warped it. I made a selection along the seam, the jersey seam here on the shoulder, and just distorted it so it would match up, and it worked out pretty nicely. And here is his number and the word mark. For this swap, I used number 11. After the fact, this was used for draft night, so we weren't exactly 100% sure as far as what number he was going to go with. For the draft, we chose 11. He later took number 1, and then so this was the original number and word mark, and then from there I just duplicated it and transformed it a little more so it just matched the right perspective, and the angles were looking right. Next is his right shoulder, the number on his right shoulder right there, and then his left shoulder. I actually believe this was the same. I think I used the same number 11 on all three areas here and just distorted them. And then the NFL shield right on the collar there. And that's his jersey. So next up is the helmet. Turn that on, then turn everything else off. Turn the layers off and go one by one. So I just neutralized that burgundy to a gray with a black and white adjustment layer. And then made the gray a little lighter, closer to white with the hue saturation adjustment. There you go. And then here's another adjustment to the face mask, just to go from that gray to more of a white for the Dolphins. And then I just did a levels adjustment on the helmet shell here, just to really make it match that white a little better. Because here you can see it's a little too dark. Just lighten it up. I took a helmet decal here, warped it to fit. I had to make a little modification. There's the right decal there. And then I just had to edit this a little bit. It was looking a little odd. I believe in the original photo there was something that just didn't work here, so I just had to put in an extra layer to match it up. I think that was the original, and then that's the edited version. And then here's his helmet stripe in the middle here, and then there's the Dolphins logo along top of the helmet there, and then just a color adjustment to make sure that orange is a little closer. And that's the helmet. So really from here the swap is complete. And here are my reference photos. I'm not going to go into that, but there are a few there. Let's turn that back off. So now this is done. And as always, for a finishing touch, I just duplicate it, make a composite layer, and then go and use camera raw filter and make a clipping path and just mask it. And then that's your asset right there. So now this guy is complete. Let me turn this off, deselect that. So now the Tua swap is complete. So thanks again for watching. I'll probably have another couple of swaps left to do from this past off season. So again, like, subscribe, comment, share, all that. Thanks a lot.